Hello, my name is Nitish. I'm a sales engineer here, and beyond my work at Sweetwater, I'm also an active musician and audio engineer. I'm always at my home studio recording and mixing projects in collaboration with artists that I work with around the country. But at heart, I'm a composer and arranger, so I'm always looking for ways to save time in my creative workflow and keep things more musical. And today we'll be talking about how a hybrid studio workflow can help you achieve the same. The advantages of an analog-digital hybrid workflow setup are that you get the best of both worlds. You get the tactile sensation and workflow sensibilities of the analog world, but you're still able to take advantage of the digital signal processing and editing capabilities that your DAW will provide. The first controller I'd like to talk about is the Faderport series of production controllers made by Presonus. These are available in single-channel, 8-channel, and 16-channel models. The biggest advantage that for me personally that I've noticed by using my Faderport is that it really speeds up my mixing process. I found myself always having to go back to my computer keyboard or mouse to click on things in my DAW, reset start points, record-enabled tracks, and so on and so forth. My Faderport has allowed me to move all of that back to the surface of the controller and keep my hands off of my mouse and computer keyboard. It also works really beautifully for an analog mixing kind of workflow because it has motorized faders. So you can do everything from record arming a track to setting in automation mode and then recording that automation all in one go from the surface of the controller itself. Again, since it's available in a single channel model, you can buy one to keep on the go, which a lot of my mixing engineer friends do when they're mixing out and about. Or if you need a more permanent setup in your home studio, you can get the 8 or 16 channel models, depending on how many tracks you normally mix down. In a similar concept to keeping your hands on the control surface itself, the Native Instruments family of complete control keyboards also helps you achieve the same thing. You can actually keep your hands on the instrument. Not only does the keybed feel really great, but it gives you integrated control over your favorite plugins right on the surface of the instrument. Fans of Native Instruments products will be familiar with plugins like Reactor, Massive, Contact, and Absinthe, and you can actually get all these plugins instantiated right from the surface of the instrument and then pull open your favorite sounds and patches and do creative sound design and modulate all your parameters, again, right on the keyboard. For somebody like me that does a lot of creative sound design, this is awesome because I can do all of that work, and then as soon as I find a sound that inspires me, I can select my track and start recording on this excellent feeling keyboard right away. The line features models from 25 keys all the way to the full 88 key version. So whether you're a producer, whether you're a sound designer, whether you're a film composer, you can find the keybed that suits your workflow the best and keep you making music instead of keeping you having to go back to your mouse to select which patches you want. If the Native Instrument complete controllers help you select your sounds faster and modulate your plugins and virtual instruments faster, then the TC Electronic family of plugin controllers actually helps you modulate your effects. One of my favorites is the TC2290 Dynamic Digital Delay, which actually does a great job of emulating the classic 2290 digital rack mount delay unit that a lot of commercial studios would have used in decades past. Not only does the plugin sound great, but again, the control over the plugin keeps you on your desk and instead of having to reach back to the computer every single time. Additional plugins are now available with reverbs as well, and not only do the plugins sound great, but you can actually expedite your workflow, again, by modulating parameters that you otherwise would have been reaching back to your computer for. The plugin runs separately inside your computer, keeping the cost of entry to get into these much lower because the plugin is just sending signals to your computer. Again, this is a hybrid kind of workflow where your computer does the digital signal processing, but you get to stay more creative with a physical hardware unit on your studio desk. If the complete control gives you a chance to keep your hands on an instrument and the TC Electronic controllers give you ability to control your plugins on the fly, then the Softube Console 1 is the perfect addition to your workflow. It's similar to the Faderport in the sense that it gives you an analog mixing workflow in a hardware control unit, but it works quite a bit differently. You can think of this Softube Console 1 as one entire channel strip, but you can instantiate it on every channel in your DAW. You have your traditional kind of sections of your console that you would have had in an analog console, like your transient designer, your EQ section, and a compressor. You also get separate input and output controls, as well as a drive to get some of the harmonic saturation that you would have gotten from your favorite analog console. Together, all of these units can be used to help you stay creative and in a musical workflow while allowing your computer to do the processing that these hardware controllers send signals to. For more information, call your Sweetwater sales engineer. Any of us would be happy to help you find the right piece of gear to help you out with your workflow in your own studio.